that sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. The Eagles sucked in the past. The Eagles suck this year, and the Philadelphia Eagles will always suck in the future. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there want to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me. Or if anybody wants to spend any time watching the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off. Anybody got anything to say? Please feel free. Fire away. Throw it in the chat box. I usually check on the chat box like every 5-10 minutes or so. So anything gets put in there, as soon as I see it, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. Okay, but sometimes I just start getting talking. I forget to look at the chat box. So anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Just fire away. And as soon as I see it, I will respond to it. So thank you. Now, before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. I got in the description box, there's the top link. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. There's loyalty badges, which are pretty cool. There's 8 different loyalty badges. Each loyalty badge is a different Giants helmet. Now, the older the Giants helmet is, the longer you've been a supporter of my channel. So if you ever get the leather helmet, okay, loyalty badge associated with your name, it means you've been a supporter of my channel for a long time. There's also some emojis. There's 4 right now. Eventually, there'll be a 5th emoji coming out, but right now there's 4. I had them made up on Fiverr. Every time I look at them, they crack me up every time. So eventually there'll be a 5th one coming out, but right now there's 4. You can use them in the chat box, or you can use them if you make a comment or something like that. So I said, once again, anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please feel free, go down below, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. You got nothing to lose. Right now, I'm at 5,480 subscribers. What the hell did I start the day off at? 5,452. 20. I ain't rocket scientist, folks. So I've gone up 28 subscribers so far today. I mean, since the season's been over with, I've been pretty lucky. I've been going up, about 30 subscribers or so a day. So a couple of weeks ago, I hit the 5,000 subscriber mark. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd actually have 5,000 subscribers. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, guys. Whoever subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. And if you're not, please feel free, hit that subscribe button. But probably tomorrow, I'll be at 5,500 subscribers. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So once again, please hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. And as I said, once again, it's free of charge. And also, finally, in the also in the description box below, there's 2 links. Okay, the top one takes you to my Facebook group. It's called New York Giants, The Gridiron. My YouTube channel, Facebook group, Facebook page, all New York Giants, The Gridiron. It's so easy that even a moron like me can remember them. That's why I make them all like that. So I don't have to really think, because I'm not much of thinking. But right now in the group, we have over 2,100 members. Now, I try to put at least 10 different things in here every day. Now, I said, whether it's just like, it's a video or putting up a picture, an old-time picture. I got a picture of Fran Tarkenton in here. There's also a picture of, I think it's the 1978 card for Troy Archer, who sadly got killed he drove his truck into on a rain-slicked road into a pole. It was a telephone pole, I guess it was, and he wound up dying. He was a rising star defensive tackle. So, I mean, we got one of his football cards in here. There's another thing that shows a picture of Craig Morton, a little video of Michael Strahan here. there's a picture here of what do we got? Oh, this is Daniel Bellinger scoring a touchdown against the Packers in week 5. What the hell else we got? Picture of Sean Landetta. There's a picture of Frank Gifford, Mel Triplett, Alex Webster, and Charlie Connolly here. So, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff every day, at least 10 different things going in there. And not only do I put stuff in here, but members put stuff in here as well, too, right? So there's a ton of stuff going in here every day in the group. Then also, the second link, the second Facebook link, okay, it takes you to a page, okay? It's called, once again, it's called New York Giants. The Gridiron. All right. Right now, we have over 2,200 members in the page, and that one just keeps growing. I mean, that one's really taking off. That one's doing phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. We have 579 people who like it, and over 2,200 people follow. As of like yesterday, we were at 2,100, over 2,100 followers. So we just hit the 2,200 follower today. So that one's really growing well. And it's the same thing as like with the group. I put like every day. I mean, this is basically 7 days a week. It's not a job, but it just takes time, right? But I mean, I spend like an hour to 2 hours. I'm going to just say every day putting stuff in the group and in the page. And I said I probably put like about 10 different items, whatever you want, posts, videos, pictures, whatever, in here in the page every day. So between the group and the page, there's at least 20 different things going in there every day. Okay, so go to the page, like and become a follower, like and follow it, and you go to the group and become a member. And between the two, right, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And if you're not satisfied, you get your money back, guaranteed. All right, well, all that stuff said and done, and all that crap out of the way with. The draft. All right. It's I don't know. I mean, it's still 2.5 months away, and I'm gonna become more and more accustomed with the guys' names and this, that, and the other thing and everything. As time goes by, every year it's the same thing. There's a lot of guys to learn and to know about. I'm not as up to date on it, or as a lot of these I guess you want to call them gurus or whatever you want to call them, the guys that they live and breathe the draft. So I take their knowledge and I just try to break it down into mine, to something I can use. Okay. And a lot of what I've been hearing, I mean, it's a good, solid draft. All right. Nothing. I mean, there's obviously the top, 3 / whatever you want to call 4 quarterbacks. Okay. There's like, apparently there's a lot of good running backs. Okay. There's like the top one. Then there's a lot of good running backs. And I'm going to try to go position by position, just like for the Giants anyway. Okay. There's no Jamar Chase. Okay. All right. Somebody like that, but there's a bunch of good wide receivers. I don't know if the Giants, where they're going to pick. I don't know if they're going to get like a true number 1. But they'll get somebody with a very good skill set. I mean, my God, I've heard some guys out there. 1 or 2 of the guys, wide receivers, are like 160 pounds. They're like 5'9", 160. Nobody can cover them. So it'd be fantastic in the slot and stuff. But, I don't know how often you want to have a 160-pound wide receiver out on the field running around before somebody creams them. But, I mean, there's all kinds of shapes and sizes, okay? Especially where the Giants are picking. Chances are, okay, they're not going to get I mean, what people say and what winds up happening is 2 totally different things. I mean, obviously, of course, a couple of these guys in the first round, it might go, could wind up being really, really phenomenal wide receivers. They're just going, I'm just listening to what they're saying. There's no, and almost everybody I'm listening to says like, yeah, there's no stud, can't miss this, that, and the other. I mean, a lot of these guys are really, really good though. Okay. They said there's the quarterbacks now with the Giants. The Giants. We'll start with the quarterback for the Giants. Okay. So you got like the top four: Young, Stroud, Levis, and Richardson, right? From Florida. Okay. Let me bring him. Where's the draft board? There we go. The draft board. Let's go to the draft board. Okay, we got the positions here. Let's go to quarterbacks. Okay. Then there's a boatload of guys. Okay. Guy from Stanford, McKay. I was hearing some good things about O'Connell from Purdue. Now we got to look at it here. Okay. Obviously, the Giants ain't taking somebody in the first round. You know, I'd be shocked if they took somebody in the second round or the third round as like a developmental player. Maybe look from the fourth round on back. Why? Because just assuming that the Giants wind up signing Daniel Jones, I'm just going to go with that assumption, okay? I certainly could be wrong. It takes two to tango. But let's just go over that assumption, okay? We got Tyrod Taylor. I'm so happy about him. The freaking guy ever stays on the field, if he can ever stay healthy, it'd be just phenomenal. I love Tyrod Taylor. A veteran's veteran, a true pro, somebody, a great backup. I'm so happy the guy's on our team. We'll have him for quite possibly, unless, hey, who knows? I mean, they might go up to him, hey, Tyrod, you want to be on our team again in 2024? We're not going to give you 6. We'll give you 4. I mean, what? Because we'll say you don't know. You don't know, right? But just right now, we got Tyrod for one more year, 2023, right? Now, a lot of what you're hearing is like Davis Webb. Now, obviously, this is just speculation, but a lot of what I'm hearing is that he wants to go into coaching, okay? Which is makes some sense, okay? So the Giants are going to need someone to groom someone, all right? If we have Daniel Jones, now what would be better, right? Get somebody in the 4th round, 5th round. I said I've seen a lot of good things about the Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. Somebody you might be able to get maybe the 3rd or 4th round, possibly maybe even later. Who knows? But somebody maybe you can groom them. Right, a little developmental work. I'm not saying he's ever going to be a phenomenal starter or anything like that, but somebody you can maybe use as a backup. Now, why not? Okay, why you still got Tyrod here? Okay, draft somebody like, I'm just throwing it out there, like O'Connell with one of your 4th or 5th round picks or so. Okay, let's try to keep, if we can, the top 4, because the top 4 picks, we got a 1st, a 2nd, and 2/3. The second, third pick, I think, is 101. I think 102, 101 or something. So basically, we got like 4 picks in the top 100. If we could hit them, hopefully hit it out of the park with those 4, make hopefully those top 4 picks that we want to get, at least, if not right away starters, like big time contributors, that would be huge for the Giants. But I said once then you have to also start thinking for the future too. So if we take a 4th round pick or something along those lines and grab a quarterback, okay, that he could sit on the sideline, right? Obviously, he'd been in practice, learn the system, okay? That way, if something would happen to Daniel Jones, you got Tyrod Taylor there. Now, then the backup quarterback's still on the sideline, learning the system. So if Tyrod, after 2023, if Tyrod were to go and have Daniel Jones, just say, I'm just throwing out here, say they draft O'Connell from Purdue, okay? He would in 2024. Now he'll be in the 2nd year of the same system. Okay, no other Kafka's there or not, who knows? But basically, it's going to be pretty much the same type of offense with, Dable's offense and everything. So this would be a good year to groom a quarterback. So that way, I said in 2024, if something were to happen to Daniel Jones, you can bring this guy in, and he would know this. It'd be a 2nd year with the system. All right, so he would have a good familiarity to it. I mean, because, the longer you're in the same system, I mean, we saw how many times this year, Daniel Jones, right, not looking, sometimes kind of locking in on it, dropping back, Daniel's looking right, Daniel's still looking right. All right, Daniel throws the ball to the right, or Daniel Jones drops back. He's looking over. He doesn't see this guy. Oh, he doesn't see Darius Slayton down the left sideline, wide open. Oh, Daniel Jones dumps it off to Saquon, 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and Saquon picks up 4 yards. When he could have thrown the ball to Darius Slayton, 30 yards down the field, where Darius was right now. right? So hopefully with Daniel Jones, second season in the same offense, hopefully he'll start looking around a little bit more, maybe seeing the Darius Slayton's wide open down the field because he'll be able to, come off his first two reads, maybe go to the third read, maybe go to the fourth read, right? Oh, the fourth read, wow, 40 yards down the field, wide open. There we go, right? So the longer and the less you got to think, right, the easier it is. I mean, this would be a good year to grab a quarterback to somebody just to groom, okay, right? Then we got, let's say, then we go to running back, okay? Well, so now the interesting thing about this, okay, is that you got, all right, quarterback. Let's go to running back here. You got the number one, Mr. Robinson, in his neighborhood. All right, he's apparently like by far the man. Giants are not taking him. I don't know if he would even reach the Giants at number 25, but Giants aren't taking him in the first round. Somebody will, but it won't be the Giants. But there's a plethora. Let me Dan Dierdorf, if you ask for a second here. There's a plethora, okay, of good running backs. Now the thing is, okay, Breida, interesting to say if they bring him back because he would be on the cheap, right? Interesting to see what they do with Barkley, right? But if they need a running back, you can grab somebody without question. There's a lot of good quality running backs here, okay? They may not be Hall of Famers or anything like that, but there's a ton of good quality running backs you can get, okay, in the later rounds, fourth round, fifth round, without question. As I said, we got Brightwell. We know we got him. All right. Do we need one more running back? Are we going to need two running backs? Or are we going to need no running back? Are we going to re-sign Breida and Barkley? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Breida was not very expensive, okay? But I'm sure drafting somebody in the fifth round would be a little bit cheaper than bringing Breida back. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, also with the drafting department, they know exactly who they want to draft, and hopefully, pick somebody up in the later round. This should be a good draft for that. If you need a good running back in a later round, a good draft for that. I mean, usually it is like that, especially the way the running backs are nowadays. I mean, if you go back, whatever, we'll go back into the 60s and the 70s, just say, running backs were premiums back then. That's where you took the running backs. Now it's like first rounds is you take the wide receivers. If you take maybe one running back might go, maybe two, but the wide receivers are key now. Right? It's the same kind. So the Giants, not going to take a running back in the first round. They got so many other needs, right? Even if Robinson were to get to them, that's not happening, right? So we go to a quarterback. As I said, good draft for the Giants that they need. And the nice thing about that, when the draft does roll around, they'll know if they have Saquon and they'll know if they re-sign Breida or not. Okay, if they don't want to, for whatever reason, don't want to bring Breida back, and they want to pick up another free agent. Yeah, there's going to be a boatload of them out there too. But this is a good draft for running backs in the later rounds. Okay, if the Giants want to go running back by committee, it's a good way to go about it. You're going to save a lot of money, okay? You can get each guy with a different skill set, right? And as I said, once again, save yourself a lot of money. Because if you got Brightwell, you draft somebody in the fifth round and you bring Breida back, I mean, my God, you're going to be paying, maybe $3 million, maybe, between your three running backs? Or you can have, Saquon Barkley, he's going to cost you 12 to 14 million, right? So we'll have to wait and see. But by the time the draft rolls around, obviously we'll all know if the Giants need one running back or two. Okay. Then what do we got next? Oh, tight end. Let's go to tight ends here. All right, tight ends. Now this one here, and this is one of the ones here, without question, the Giants could go early, right? Now I'm saying it's Daniel Bellinger. I mean, fourth rounder. You can't be disappointed at all with Daniel Bellinger. Cannot be disappointed whatsoever. I mean, one of the few things he did, unfortunately, he had that fumble against the Vikings. But I mean, for the most part, the dude got injured. He came back as soon as he could, right? I mean, the guy's a warrior. But is he somebody? I mean, do you want to ride off into the sunset with like Myrick, Hudson, Vanette, and Bellinger? I mean, do you want to have a running back by committee, a Bellinger, Myrick, Hudson, Vanette, Cager kind of thing going? Is that really starting to scare you? Let's not forget that the two teams in the Super Bowl here, and that doesn't happen every year. I get it, but Goddard and Kelsey, two good tight ends, right? I mean, but we can certainly add a little juice to that tight end position. Have Bellinger there, and there's a couple of guys, Mayer from Notre Dame. There's a couple guys. Who's the other guy? Oh wait, I gotta get rid of halfbacks here. Hold on. Here we go. Tight ends. You got Mayer. No. Oh. Well, there's quite a few. I mean, Kincaid from Utah, Musgrave from Oregon State. Okay. Musgrave, he's 6'5", he's 6'6", he's like 250 pounds. Okay. He had a knee injury. Okay. So he only played in 2 games this past season, but he apparently at the Senior Bowl, he looked a little rusty, but you can certainly see where he's a very good prospect. And some people might even think he might go ahead of Mayer from Notre Dame. There's a lot of good. Obviously, maybe if you don't want to go in the first round, because a couple of these tight ends might go in the first round, but there's some other guys that could possibly go, like maybe maybe if you want to go in the second round, possibly. Hey, we took Bellinger in the 4th round. There's some guys in the 3rd round. But obviously the farther back you draft them, the less talented that they are. But if the Giants wanted to, we got 2 good edge rushers, we got 2 good tackles, right? If you want, we got 1 good tight end. If you want to add to the other tight end, right, this wouldn't be a bad draft for that. There's obviously, once again, there's a boatload of good tight ends out there, right? But this would be a good draft if the Giants early on wanted to add, right, to the tight end talent that they have. This is something that they could quite possibly do. Now, the thing is, there might be 1 or 2 guys that might go in the first round. If both of them go in the first round before the Giants, there's a little bit like a drop off from the first round to the second round. So the Giants, if the Giants were thinking tight end maybe in the first round, and a couple of these guys go like Mayer, okay, and Musgrave go before the Giants pick, the Giants might want to wait maybe till round 2 if they were thinking about maybe grabbing a tight end. But this is not a bad, it's not a phenomenal, but a couple of the guys are pretty good. And there's a chance that one of these tight ends, Mayer or Musgrave, might reach the Giants at number 25. There's a chance. Okay. Then we got, now I'm not going to talk tackle. Okay. But if we talk tackle, the Giants don't need a starting tackle, but they could use some depth. And the Giants, the one nice thing about having 11 picks, okay, is if the Giants are looking to, maybe upgrade their depth at the tackle position, okay, groom somebody, maybe some good quality depth, that's something they can certainly do later on in the draft without question. The interior offensive line, okay, this is a good draft for that. Very, very good draft for that. There's a couple good, let's see, what do they got here? All right, they got, I'm looking on Pro Football Focus here. All right, they got these guards and their centers, okay. Now, Osiris Torrance, I got some people. He's a guard, like from Florida. Okay, big dude. Right? He's like apparently far and away the best guard. Okay, in the draft. Now, I see some people actually where that he's actually reaching the Giants at number 25. I'm not sure if he's going to go that high. Or he may not reach the Giants. Let me just put it that way. Okay, but there's certainly some good guards. Because it seemed like maybe the Giants want a Zudu, maybe we have Bredesen, but maybe to have Azudu maybe be the starting guard somewhere along the line if he can stay healthy. Okay. But we got Glowinski for 1 more year. We can have him for 2 more years, but we got an out after 2 years. Okay. So there's a chance it might be Glowinski's last year with the Giants. You don't know. But if the Giants, there's wanting to grab a center, okay, maybe not in the first round, but in the second or third round, this would be a good draft for that as well, too. Is it centers or guards? I mean, if you wanted to, they really wanted to help the interior offensive line. I mean, according to Pro Football Focus, you go to different sites, everybody's got different grades for everything like that. Their best interior offensive lineman, meaning a guard and a center, okay, is O'Cyrus Torrence, the guard from Florida. He's their 27th ranked prospect, which means that he could possibly reach the Giants in number 25. Not sure if he will, but he possibly could. That would give the Giants interior offensive line a good shot. A good shot, all right? What I would like to see is them to draft an actual center, right? I mean, it's been a long time. We've been kind of dilly-dallying around with, let's try this guy here. Well, this is our backup punter. Let's put him in there at center. Hey, he used to be a running back. Well, let's try him at center. Why can't we just get a center, right? And I guess that's just too much to ask, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, in early rounds, there's a few good centers. And it'd be interesting to see which way the Giants want to go. I mean, the Giants obviously need depth everywhere, right? Pretty much. I mean, except maybe tackle, right? But I mean, they could use depth in tackle, not so much starters, okay? We go to the defensive side, okay? Edge rushers, okay? There's a boatload of edge rushers here, okay? The Giants, don't be, there's a really few good ones, okay? Here, all right. Well, let's see. What do we got? Edge rushers, and we'll do interior defensive linemen. Okay. Now between Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson, all right, they got a few good. And Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech, he's a good edge. Byron Breesy from Clemson, defensive lineman. Vaness from Iowa, he's an edge rusher. Nolan Smith from Georgia. He's a good edge rusher. But, I mean, the top guys, you got Carter, Anderson, right, and Murphy. I mean, they're like between edge. And then a lot of people have Carter, who's like an inside defensive lineman going, could quite possibly go number 1. Like maybe if somehow, for some reason, the Bears don't decide to trade out of the number 1 spot, they might wind up taking possibly somebody like him, okay? So there's some good, like there's no Chase Young in here, all right, as far as like edge rushers, right? Like there's some good guys, good solid guys in here, okay? Now this is something the Giants, without question, need to add some depth, okay? Because can Azeez Ojulari stay healthy? Who knows? Who knows, guys? He had injury problems coming out of college, right? He wasn't very healthy last year. He only played a couple hundred snaps last year, the whole season, right? So every time he went on the field, he looked phenomenal. Looked like he was being shot out of a cannon, right? But then, of course, something would happen and he would get hurt. So the Giants need, right, some depth at edge rusher, right? We don't know if Ellison Smith can stay on the field. We're not sure if Oshane Ximines is going to wind up coming back, right? I mean, you got Hottie Ward. We're not sure if we're going to be bringing him back. He was the defensive end / edge rusher. Toman Fox. I mean, So we need some. We need some depth at the line, the edge rusher position. This is good. I mean, don't be surprised if the Giants, double, I'm not, well, I mean, quite possibly maybe get somebody later on as well, too. But I mean, if the Giants say say the Giants take a guard in the first round, don't be surprised if in the second round they take an edge rusher or something. You can never, ever have too many pass rushers, whether that's in the interior or the out. You can never, ever have too many pass rushers without question. So if the Giants, or if we take a cornerback first round, Okay. And then the second round, we take an edge. Don't be surprised. We're like, well, where's the wide receiver at? Where's the guard at? I mean, why do we take another edge rusher? Because you can never have too many pass rushers. That's why. All right. So this is a good, once again, it's a good solid class. All right. I mean, pretty much they all are. But I mean, sometimes it seems like there's like 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 guys are like, man, where's this guy go? Where? I mean, like, I mean, some of them, just some of the classes are just like unbelievable with some of the guys. Okay. But this one's just kind of more, I don't know, balanced, I guess, shall we say. All right. Obviously, because by the time they get to the Giants at number 25 in the first round, there'll be some decent guys. Absolutely. There's some decent guys. Sure. Once again, it's something that the Giants have to do with their scouting department, do, a good, thorough scouting of the edge rushers and the interior defensive linemen, place their values on who they want to, where they want to go first. But I mean, don't be surprised. I said, because we could use a cornerback. That leads me to my next thing, the cornerback position. But I'm saying, don't we take a cornerback in the first round? Okay, good. All right, now we got a second round. We got our wide receiver. Okay, who are we going to pick the wide receiver? And the second round, the Giants take an edge rusher. Like, what's going on? Why do we got an edge rusher? What I mean? Don't be surprised. Okay. So we got that. All right. So let's go to the edge rusher. I'm sorry, cornerbacks. Once again, good, solid round. Some cornerbacks. Okay. There's a lot of some of it's almost kind of like pick your flavor. Okay. There's a lot of guys like, more guys are better in zone. Some guys are better at press coverage, right? Some of it you also gonna have to start thinking, because I mean, when we had Patrick Graham in here, okay, what did he do? He was kind of like had a lot of press. I mean, a lot of it was like, it seemed like, especially in 2021, it was like we get for a while there, we were getting up like 75% completion percentage. The other team would drop back to pass. The other guy would run a route. Quarterback would hit him. We would come up. We would make the tackle. The team, and we would start to play from and they would just do that all the way down the field. So it wasn't like as much as press coverage, right? It was kind of like, let's drop off a little bit. They'll complete the ball in front of us. We'll come up. We'll make the tackle, okay, and we'll proceed from there. All right. So it's going to be interesting to see, okay, because we know what Wink likes to send pressure. Okay. So when he's sending pressure, you want to have the one-on-one, right? You don't want to be putting people in zone, right? When you're sending all kinds of pressure, you got to have the one-on-one, the coverage, the tight coverage. Okay. While you're sending the pressure. All right. So it's going to be interesting to see, is Wink going to be here or not? If Wink's going to be here, all right, you might, we're going to be looking for those cornerbacks that were good and tight coverage. If Wink's not here, and we got another defensive coordinator in here, we might be getting somebody else. I mean, we might be looking for guys that are better in zone coverage, right? So it's hard to say exactly who the Giants would be looking for, because you don't know who the defense coordinator is going to be, right? But we could use some depth, obviously, without question, at the cornerback position. Because you got Adoree Jackson. I believe this is his last year that we haven't signed for. We can certainly extend his contract. I don't know if we're going to want to keep him around. I have no idea. Aaron Robinson, can the guy stay healthy? Who knows, right? We have some other, Holmes and Flott, McLeod. I mean, some of the guys are like free agents as well. So, I mean, we need, some good depth at the cornerback position. So don't be surprised if the Giants take a cornerback in the first round. I mean, there's quite a few of them here. All right. But I said, but a lot of them, it's like the flavors of ice cream. What is this guy good at? What, what are we looking for? What are we looking at in the defense for? Do we want more press coverage? Do we want more guys to drop in the zone or whatever? So, but don't be surprised if the Giants, take a cornerback in the first couple rounds, because we need good cornerback depth, okay, without question. Which leads you to, let's say, safeties. Now, same thing with the safeties, okay? The safeties here, let me get rid of this here, go to the big board. Cornerbacks, there's a lot of good safeties, okay? I think there's one or two that they have. Okay. They got PFF has two guys that are ranked in the top 30. Okay. So possibly they got Johnson from Texas A&M and they got Branch from Alabama. Possibly go in the first round. Giants aren't going to take it. Ain't taking a safety. We got Belton. Okay. If you want to say Pinnock, right? I don't know if we're going to sign. We signed Tony Jefferson. That I'm not sure about. Obviously, we got Xavier McKinney. We don't know what we're going to do with Julian Love. But if we don't want to signing Julian Love, right? We'll have Xavier McKinney. We got Dane Belton, right? Well, we can always add a little quality depth, hopefully, in the later rounds, right? So pick up a safety later on, which is something we can always certainly wind up doing, right? So, we'll have to wind up waiting and see what the Giants want to do with Julian Love, right? So, I mean, that's one of the things you don't know. But, I mean, it's just something the Giants, with 11 picks, they can certainly add some depth at safety later on in the draft without question, okay? But, a lot of it depends upon what they want to do with Julian Love. Because if they have, let's see. I mean, if we have, let's see, Pinnock. Some of them I see some places got him as like a cornerback. Other places got him as like a safety, But if we got Belton, say Pinnock, I don't know if we're going to re-sign Jefferson. If we sign Julian Love. If we got McKinney back there, I'm not sure what we're going to, if we're going to need any, right? But if we don't bring back, like, say, Julian Love, we don't bring back Jefferson, now all of a sudden now we only have a couple safeties back there. It's certainly something we're going to wind up picking. But I would certainly say it would be a later. I don't think picking a safety in the top 2 or 3 rounds is a priority for the Giants. Maybe one of our 11 draft picks, maybe taking a safety. Yeah, get some depth. Yep, absolutely. But, all right, then we got, let's see, that's cornerback, edge. All right, so then we go, finally would be the, you got all inside linebackers. All right, let's go to inside linebackers, shall we? The big draft board here. All right, here we go, position linebackers. Okay, so same thing here. A lot of it you hear is Trenton Simpson, all right, from Clemson. All right, he's projected to go in the first round. All right, he's one, a lot of people say that he's the best, right? Maybe as far as, inside linebacker position, but there's other guys out there. But a lot of it's also kind of what do they see with Darian Beavers, right? And Micah McFadden. I mean, the Giants, I don't know if we're bringing back, we bring back Landon Collins, right? Like with Jalen Smith, Davis. I mean, are we going to bring back any of those guys? You don't know. That was one of our, if not the weakest position on the whole team, inside linebacker position. Absolutely horrible. Now, I mean, if we think Beavers can be, okay, a starter, okay, do you want to, who else do you want to add to what Beavers can do? I mean, do we think we need somebody like who can cover the tight end? We're going to need a thumper. Somebody can help with the run game, right? So a lot of it's going to have to be like once you get past the first round or so, a lot of the inside linebacker, the interior linebackers are going to have their own different flavors to them, right? Well, this guy he's kind of light, he's fast, he's light, he can go sideline to sideline, but he's not very good at stuffing the run. This guy's good at going downhill, stuffing the run, but he's not very good sideline to sideline. This guy, but he can cover the tight end, so, right, you have to wait and see. But, I mean, once again, this is another good draft for, some inside linebackers. Penei Sewell's brother, okay, Noah Sewell. What do they got him at? 6'2", 250, right? He's coming out, okay? So, I mean, there's a lot of guys. The Giants can certainly, without question, get some good depth in there too. Now, I mean, where they took Beavers, right? If they think Beavers can be a good quality inside linebacker, right? The Giants can maybe take a flyer on somebody else again, like in the 3rd or 4th round or so, maybe an inside linebacker, right? But I mean, the Giants, without question. There's a couple positions the Giants really need, really need. The interior defensive line. I mean, the depth we need after Sexy Dexter and Leo line, we need some depth there without question. As I said, the inside linebacker position is somebody we need some depth at too. It's we got some holes, but I said once again, I've said this before. I've said it many times. Okay, it's like it's a journey. It's not a sprint. Okay, this is a journey. All right, it's not we went to the playoffs last year. Okay, this year we're going to win the Super Bowl. Now we got to add a few more pieces to the puzzle this year. Okay, hopefully make the team a little better. Re-sign who we can. Right. Next year's draft come in, add another 3 or 4 pieces to the puzzle, and just keep building from there. And hopefully that's the way Shane sees it. Maybe if we get a big splash, maybe one big splash in free agency, maybe we get like an inside linebacker, right? I don't know if we can go after like a number 1 wide receiver. I mean, because the thing with something like that, right, like a Higgins or somebody, not only there's no free agents out there, right, that are like going to be like number 1 wide receivers, right? So if you're going to trade for somebody like, once again, an Ayuk or a Higgins, first of all, you got to trade draft capital. You're going to cost you a couple draft picks. That's one. And then 2, you got to dish out a whole boatload of money to pay these guys. That's what I hate, trading draft picks and then shelling out a ton of money for these guys, right? It'd be interesting to see, do we get that little splash? Do we get one good piece of the puzzle in free agency? I'm saying like an inside linebacker, or an interior offensive lineman or somebody like that in free agency. It'd be interesting to see. But what do we got? Today's what? The 6th, soon to be the 7th. Got about 5 weeks and free agency is going to start. So before you know it, free agency will be here. But this is a good draft for the Giants. I mean, especially by the time number 25 rolls around, I don't see Shane trying to jump into the top 10 to pick anybody, or even the top into the teens or anything like that. But it's a good draft for the Giants to add some good quality, a couple good starters. I really, really feel so without question. In the first 1 or 2 picks, the Giants said we should wind up getting some starters, absolutely, and some good quality depth, absolutely, throughout the whole draft. If there's a position the Giants need, especially either a starter, they can probably get one early on, or if they just want to add some draft, some depth, certainly can get that later on. It's a good draft. Good draft. But what we got? We got about 2.5, a little more than 2.5 months for the drafts here, but we got about 5 weeks, and the free agency frenzy is going to start. Hopefully by then we'll know, with Saquon and some of our bigger guys, Love, Barkley, Daniel Jones. If we're going to want to bring back some of those guys, be interested to see. But it's going to be fun. We're going to. It's like a roller coaster ride, right? The season just ended, but it's still going on, right? Well, guys, it's been 43 minutes, heading up to 44 minutes. Once again, guys, as always, anybody spent any time at all watching me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Or if anybody spends any time watching and replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys rock. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!